These are some frequently asked questions about the privileges of voters in California. So, do voters actually have privileges in this state? Yes, the California Elections Code contains a section titled Privileges of Voters. It's contained in Chapter 1 of Division 14. What happens if a voter does not have sufficient time outside of working hours to vote at a statewide election? The voter may, without loss of his or her pay, take off enough working time that when added to the voting time available outside of working hours will enable the voter to cast his or her vote. How much time can be taken off for voting? State law specifies that no more than 2 hours of the time taken off for voting is to be without loss of pay to the voter. When can time off for voting actually take place? The time off for voting can only be at the beginning or end of the regular working shift, whichever allows the most free time for voting and the least time off from the regular working shift, unless otherwise mutually agreed between the voter and his or her employer. Must an employee give notice to take time off to vote? If the employee on the third working day prior to the day of election that they know or have reason to know that time off will be necessary in order to be able to vote on election day, then the employee must give the employer at least 2 working days notice that time off for voting is desired. Does an employer have to provide notice to an employee? Not less than 10 days before every statewide election, every employer is required to keep posted conspicuously at the place of work, if it's practicable, or elsewhere where it can be seen as employees come or go to their place of work, a certain notice that sets forth the employee's rights to take time off of work in order to vote. To whom do these provisions apply? These provisions of the California Elections Code apply to all public agencies and their employees, as well as to employers and employees in the private industry. And finally, can an employer require a vote by mail ballot at work? An employer is prohibited from requiring or requesting that an employee bring the employee's vote by mail ballot to work or to vote the employee's vote by mail ballot at work.